Greg, thank you for being on here. Let me start off by saying that I am a proud member of the NFIB, and I appreciate all that you do for your members, advocating, also making a lot of things more affordable for us with some of the programs you offer. I think that's something that's missed often. So thank you for what you're doing. You brought up unemployment insurance. I think this has been something I've been talking about since the very beginning of this pandemic. And, I will say, Senator Kaplan, there are bills out there to basically hold harmless what they call the experience rating for insurance, unemployment insurance. That is a critical need. Greg, when you talk about as much as $500 per employee in additional insurance rate, just to kind of put that in perspective, could you ballpark what that would average a percentage increase in unemployment insurance rates would be to your membership?
It would be, I actually don't have that exact figure, but it would be, more than doubling of it.
Yes.
We will not see those numbers out of New York State likely till after the first of the year. It's the way our calendar works. But for example, in Washington State and Massachusetts, they are already publicly reported similar figures. A little bit less than that, but they didn't have as much of an economic disruption to the same extent that New York did. So we are working with members of ours and experts in this field to really understand what hit is coming and make sure that it gets public. Because lawmakers, decision makers need to know about this. And I brought up the large mega retailers before because they didn't have to lay people off. So the base rating will be impacted, but their experience rating largely won't. The experience rating piece is going to fall on small businesses that were forced to lay off. And it is going to be potentially catastrophic next year if we don't anticipate and protect against this. And I know that some are looking to do it using federal funding that may or may not come through at some undetermined point in the future. And I'm not saying that's a bad use of federal relief, is to protect against unemployment insurance premium increases. But who knows? New York State has to look at their options as well.
Well, you're making my point. This is critically important because it's going to disproportionately impact small business, and that's really the important point here. We've asked throughout the hours on this hearing and others, what can state government do to help our small businesses? Typically, the answer is funding, and yes, we should provide funding. But right now, just making that change, holding harmless our small businesses, especially for that massive increase in unemployment insurance that was largely forced by the fact that this unemployment insurance, the fact that people were able to get more money being laid off than they were working, which created an artificial increase in unemployment, and it was also a strain on our workforce for small businesses. I can tell you that our seasonal businesses here where I live, my wife watched the unemployment insurance claims pile up on her desk while she could not hire people to work for the summer season. So it was incredibly unfair. It was a mistake made in Washington that was weaponized in Albany by giving people virtually any reason to collect unemployment insurance. And now the double whammy is going to be paying that massive increase, as you said, doubling the cost of unemployment insurance in a state where unemployment insurance is already high to begin with. So I appreciate the fact that you pointed that out. If we want something that we can do that is relatively simple, we can hold harmless our businesses when it comes to the unemployment insurance ratings. And there are bills already in the Senate that address that issue. So I appreciate you bringing that up. And thank you very much for your advocacy.
Thank you, Senator.